For the sake of this video, I'm actually gonna wear this vest while talking. It will help me get into the mental state. Hey guys, it's Robin and welcome to the Science of Self-Care. On this channel we talk about health science, we talk about life philosophy, and we do a whole lot of self-care experimentation. I'm really excited to share my 30-day experiment with you, the good, the bad, and how I would do it differently if I were to start again. I actually got this idea from you guys. Many of you responded to my 20,000 steps video, so I sincerely thank you guys because I do read your comments and I do try to implement different suggestions into my life. And this is definitely one that I've really enjoyed and has been a net positive in my life. There are certain things that I'm not going to repeat and I definitely would do differently. I will get to that. But overall, it's been a very positive experience. First, I'd like to answer the question, why would you consider walking with a weighted vest or rucking? Rucking is walking with extra weights that might also be in a backpack, like a rucksack. So there are many benefits to weighted walking. Firstly, it increases your cardiovascular fitness. Adding extra weight will increase the workout intensity of your walks, and this can improve heart and lung health and just overall cardiovascular fitness. Weighted walking will also enhance your muscle strength and endurance. The extra weight that you're wearing challenges your muscles and it improves your core strength and your leg strength. I also feel like my glutes and my calves, just all the muscles of my legs feel so much stronger and more toned. It's definitely noticeable. So I think it's a really nice way to get more out of the time you do spend walking and build your muscle mass. It may also improve your bone density. Weight-bearing exercises are known to strengthen bones, which can be beneficial in preventing conditions like osteoporosis. You're likely also going to boost your caloric expenditure for the day. Because you are walking with more weight, you will inevitably be burning more calories. So again, this is something that is really helpful for people who are looking to lose weight. In addition to paying attention to your caloric intake, you can increase your caloric expenditure by adding weights to your walks. And I will say, I noticed my hunger really increased and I would sometimes be so ravenous after these walks. So I definitely also was eating more this past month just because I was burning more. Lastly, weighted walking can also lead to better balance and posture. This is something I'm not sure I fully experienced. The balance, yes, but the posture, it's a difficult one. And I'll explain why in a second, but I had a little bit of an issue with my vest personally, and that was probably one of the biggest cons to this experience. I have so many thoughts on this vest, but first let's run down the month. I started off the month very surprised by how heavy 30 pounds actually is. I don't know why when I bought this, I thought, oh, 30 pounds is not that much. I'm strong, I'm tall, I can handle this. Well, I could handle it, but 30 pounds is a lot. And when it arrived, it felt like someone had shipped me a very dense brick. And I'm still shocked to this day how heavy this vest is. When I try to pick it up, it just looks like it wouldn't be that heavy.
Jesus, you weren't kidding around.
Once it gets on you,
Right now, I've been wearing it for like 30 seconds, and I already feel that if I were wearing this for longer, I already feel it like on the bones of my shoulders, my shoulder blades.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of uncomfortable.
In retrospect, I probably should have started with 12 or 15 pounds, which is also an option for this vest. That said, once I was used to having this on my body, it was extremely comforting and calming. If you're a fan of weighted blankets, you'll probably be a fan of weighted walking. It has the same grounding and calming sensation. I think it's something that is just innate to many of us. I love being squeezed. I love pressure and weight on me. It just makes me feel safe. It makes me feel secure. So in that sense, I actually really enjoy the feeling of having extra weight on me. Another thing I immediately noticed in the first week was how much more intense my walks were when I was wearing this vest. I would be huffing and puffing more. I would be sweating more. I would just have more sore legs and be ravenous sometimes. For reference, I wore this vest once a day on one of my walks, anywhere between 20 minutes and 60 minutes. It varied quite a bit, but every single day I incorporated this vest into my walking routine. So that was the first week. It was more of a adjustment period and kind of a shock at how much of a difference in intensity this vest made my walks. In the second and third week, I really started to notice how strong I was becoming. I felt like I could just run upstairs and I would not be out of breath. I could lift 6 bags of groceries. I remember going to the grocery store with my mother, and she was shocked at how many grocery bags I could carry back to the car, and it was like nothing. I was feeling so strong. It's a good feeling to feel that strong. Another thing that's notable is in the second and third week, whenever I didn't have the vest on, I felt like I could fly. I had so much energy. It's ridiculously easy to walk once you are used to wearing a weighted vest. When you're not wearing it, it feels like you are just so light on your toes. And that's also a pretty cool feeling. I even started to crave the weight in week 3. If I would go on a morning walk without the vest, because some days I decided to do the weighted walking in the evening instead of the morning, I would actually crave that weight during the morning. And it's funny how quickly your body gets used to things. And just like I crave walking because I'm used to walking, I'm now craving weighted walking because I'm used to having that extra weight. However, we also got into some trouble. After using this vest consistently, I started to notice that my shoulders were not feeling too good because essentially this vest does not distribute the weight evenly. It all hangs on your shoulders, and that is my biggest con to this whole experience. This vest is poorly designed. I think most backpacking backpacks have a really solid belt piece where actually a lot of the weight of your backpack is sitting on your torso and your stomach. In the case of this vest, it's hanging on your shoulders, and I think that was ultimately an issue for my posture. In order to not have it start to hurt my shoulders, I really have to kind of tense up my shoulders and be very conscious of how I'm holding my arms. I actually think this wasn't a good thing, and I think I wouldn't recommend anyone buy this vest for that reason. So to remedy this, because I wanted to finish my month, but I also didn't want to screw up my shoulders, I started wearing the vest like a skirt. I would switch off between wearing it as a vest and wearing it as a weighted skirt. And I think it's lucky that it fit me like this just because of my body proportions, but it's definitely not designed as a skirt. But it felt a lot better when the weight was hanging from my midsection. So because of the issues with the weight distribution, in week 4, I ended up doing shorter walks, really sticking more to 20-minute walks because I just didn't want to agitate my shoulders at all. I think this is really a shame because I love weighted walking. I love having that extra weight on me. However, I just did not like this vest that I purchased. So I'm gonna rate this vest a 2 out of 10, and I do not recommend buying it. However, weighted walking, I am rating a 10 out of 10. If you're looking for a cost-effective way to experiment with this before investing in any weighted materials, I would recommend just buying several 2-pound rice bags in bulk. They're usually a few bucks, so this can be quite a cheap way to test this out. Toss it in a backpack, see how you feel. I do think that ultimately you are going to want to invest in something that's specifically made for weighted walking, and now I'm actually in the market for a weighted belt. So if you are someone who has experimented with different weighted articles of clothing and has a recommendation that has better weight distribution, please let me know in the comments. Perhaps one of my greatest takeaways from this experience was how easy it was to incorporate this into my routine. I know I've talked about this before on my channel, but the concept that James Clear writes about in his book Atomic Habits, standardize before you optimize a habit. And because walking is so standard in my routine, it's really easy to optimize and add weights and actually refine that habit further. Since it already exists, I was able to do it every single day from day 1, and it was not difficult. So this is a great option for people who lead busy lives and already go on walks. You don't have to change a thing about your routine, and you can majorly amp up the intensity of your daily activity. I would love to know if you've experimented with rucking, if you do any weighted walking. I can definitely see the promise and potential of weighted walking, and I'm so excited to try out some different weighted pieces to find the one that fits me and works for my body and feels good. I want to thank you all for recommending that I try this, and I'm so appreciative of how engaged and supportive this Science of Self-Care community has become. I appreciate you guys more than you know. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.